Rolling.
Stan, I'd like to try something with you. This is fascinating. I have an interest in words, and you look like someone who has a pretty good vocabulary. So I'd like to try a little game. It's a sort of a guessing game involving words. All right. So I'm going to ask you to simply think of a word. However, there are rules. The first rule is that it has to be an English word. Okay. The second rule is that it has to be a real word. Right. Please don't think of something like twerk, for example. Although I found out recently that they added twerk to the dictionary, much to my dismay.
It's now a real word.
It's now a real word. And the third rule is that it has to be a word that I would have some chance of knowing, something that I might have heard of, nothing too overly specialized or obscure. Last time I tried this, the guy thought of the word myocardial. And even though that word is within my personal lexicon, I prefer it if you could stick with something a little bit more commonplace. All right? So do you have a word in mind?
Sure.
Okay, great. Now, just so we have evidence, I'm going to have you write this down. And I've got just some of my business cards right here. One of them will be for me. I'll set this aside for 1 second. And this one will be for you. Whatever word you're thinking of, I want you to, I've got a pen right here. I want you to just write your word across the face of that business card, and when you're finished, just turn it face down like that. Okay? And I'll turn away so that I can see.
Okay.
All right, is the card face down?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. All right, so I want to just point something out that my cards, they're made out of a very thick cardboard material. And you can't see through them, right? They're quite opaque. But just in case, I'll turn my head away, in fact, and we're just going to cut that inside. That way I have absolutely no access to it. So now, obviously, the game here is for me to try to work out what word we thought of. But I have certain advantages, and one of those advantages is the fact that most people wildly overestimate the number of words that there are in the English language. They think that there are millions and millions of words, when in fact the reality is that there's just slightly over 1 million. Most people don't know that. A really big dictionary only typically has, on average, approximately 170,000 entries, and I don't think that I've ever met anybody that knows every word in the dictionary. But in our day-to-day lives, we get by with probably just a couple of thousand words, right? And here's an interesting tidbit. You know the book The Cat in the Hat by Dr. Seuss?
Yes.
That entire book was written using only 225 words. You can look it up. Point being is that, the average vocabulary isn't as large as what most people would think. So we're going to try to narrow this down. Now, there are different types of words. As you know, there are verbs, there's nouns, there's adverbs, there's adjectives. So let's start this way. If you were thinking of a verb, for example, I would like you to imagine yourself either doing that thing or observing that action. Right? If you thought of an adjective, like lovely, for example, I'd like you to imagine that you're looking at something beautiful. I guess if you thought of a noun, just try to imagine whatever that thing. You understand what I'm saying, right? Okay. So can you do that for me for just a moment? And I don't know why, but I'm getting that this is more of a something. More of a something. Did you think of a noun? Mm-hmm. It is a noun. Okay, good. And this is a word that begins with a consonant, not a vowel. Am I correct in saying that?
Correct.
Okay. Speaking of vowels, there are 2 vowels in this room. Is that correct?
Yes.
There are 2. Okay. All right. So I'm still not entirely sure. Can we try it one other way? Sure. All right. I'll tell you what. Let's just pick these up for a moment, and we're gonna have you just focus on this space right here and use it as sort of a canvas. Okay. I'm gonna ask you to do something, but only in your imagination, as if you have an invisible hand and an invisible pencil. I want you to reach out and imagine yourself just sort of rewriting that word, but just in this empty space right across the face of that card. Can you do that for me? It also helps if you could just mentally hear yourself pronouncing each letter as you're writing it. Just do that for me. So you imagine that you've written that, yes?
Yes.
One more time, I'm going to ask you to look at the face of the card, and now imagine that you are just reading that word and hear yourself saying the entire word all at once. You've done that?
Yep.
Okay. I think I might have it. Now, we do have the evidence here, but I just assume not use it, okay? So I'm going to go for this. And I'm going to write the word that I'm getting on this card. I don't want you to see what I write. And I could be wrong. I have been wrong before. Would I be correct in saying that this could mean different things under different circumstances? Something that could potentially be a living thing, but certainly isn't always a living thing.
Correct.
Just out of curiosity, what was the word out of all the zillions of possible words you could have thought of?
Mustang.
Mustang. Are you a car lover?
Yeah.
You were thinking of the car, not the
I
animal.
was thinking of both.
You were thinking of both? It's interesting.
I was thinking of a horse driving a car.
Ah, well that's quite fascinating. But not as fascinating as what you're going to see on the opposite side of that card. Turn it over. It says Mustang.
Very good.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Let's see what you wrote. There it is, Mustang, for purposes of comparison.
Very nice.
Marriage.